Hey everyone, it is 6:43 in the evening on Monday the 17th of July 2023, and I decided it was the perfect time to make a video because I've been trying to get comfortable now for far too long. In fact, I've been trying to get comfortable for so long that all I've actually done is caused more pain to myself, specifically in my left wrist as I'm speaking to you all. Um, Today has been a very long, jam-packed day. A great day, absolutely chock-a-block. So, not totally sure where I'm at and what I've shared because I know I've made a few really short ones. And last night, I swear, guys, I woke up at 2 yesterday and I was very much like, having to keep the curtains closed, and I was like, yep, it's just me and my dog in the world, and I watched Mum on Netflix. I did not smoke weed. I did not take meds. I didn't do anything. I just lay in bed and watched Netflix and did not even get dressed. Funnily enough, right, so as always, my stories tend to have multiple beginnings, different threads, and they tend to come together at the end. Whether you're all actually still following me at the end, meh. Anyway, so quick recap, right? My car, old car, falling apart. Yeah, I had spent more money than I'd like to have, keeping it running as long as possible. When it rolled backwards down a hill after the engine died and the brakes failed, and I had to jam on my handbrake and pull into the curb to crash to stop the car on a hill like this, that's pretty bad. It was fucking terrifying, actually. I then had to, after of course about 10 minutes of shaking, pray to every single god out there. Yeah, right. Why be picky and choosy, right? I'd be like, please let me get to where I need to be. Yes, and so I did. And I was messaging my friend to let me in. The gated like car parking thing, yeah. And the next thing I know, I'm like, what the fuck is that smell, yeah? And then I'm got beeping, and thankfully I'm in a driveway at this point, yeah. And I'm looking at my car, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, yeah. And my mate rings me, and they're like, the parks are full, and I'm like, I don't care. I know where in the like yard I can park. I was like, I need to get this car turned off immediately, which thankfully I was able to do. I called my mechanic so fast, and he like talked me through absolutely everything I needed to do. Obviously, I got the car back to my house after a number of hours of literally following the mechanic schools, yeah. But obviously I needed to take it straight there, yeah. And at this point, my mechanic is like, please do not spend any more money on this car. Like, the car needs a new engine, the car needs a new radiator, the car needs to go to the fucking car graveyard, really, right? So I needed to start looking for a car, right? Now, why did I start at this point? Let me think about where I'm at. All right. I know. Yeah. Anyway, it's gonna go really like very short version of a long story, and like I make videos every day, bar about 4 during a pretty severe crisis, which truthfully only my sister and doctor registered, which is I'm silent because I don't know how to explain how I feel about my sister noticing, because it's just I don't have the words. It's about all I can say. I love my sister more than anything in the entire fucking world, and I wish I wasn't this nasty, crazy, psycho, easily triggered, easily irritated, easily quick to anger. I don't want to be that person ever. That actually goes against every single thing I believe in, like completely. It's just that the reasons I can explain can't be grasped if you haven't lived it. And I know that because I know people who've lived through things that I know I can't grasp, right? But it really is like watching myself when that stuff happens. It's like there's me down here in 3D attacking everybody I love. And in my head, I'm hearing the words defending myself. And then I'm thinking, yeah, but you're usually the one that starts at live, because I think your mother hit the nail on the head. And it's not I do it for it, it's just that I honestly don't see this world the way others do, let's face it. And there are some things in society that honestly make me think I should be living on a different planet, right? And I guess that ties into why I'm so easily able to lock myself in my house and pretend the world doesn't exist, right? Because when it comes down to it, whether you or my family or my mother or the next door neighbour, believe me or not, it's highly irrelevant. Highly, highly, highly relevant. Like I should be on high NDIS treatment. It's like I'm being punished because, not because of what I live with. I'm not even mad. Like what I live with is teaching me shit in a way that like I can't imagine. Like, for example, there is absolutely no fucking way in this planet I'm ever going to be able to grasp what it would feel like to grow up in a loving, committed household full of love. I can daydream about that until the cows come home. I'm never going to know, because you can't know if you haven't been through it. Yeah, that's why this lived experience stuff is becoming so much more like needed. I remember my first time doing DPT. So CBD is a very popular, very integrated course for people with mental health. Yeah, because I'm very lucky and I have borderline personality disorder, I do the special one of DBT, dialectical behavioural therapy. Now, I wasn't a fan of therapy back then, got to be honest with you. They pissed me the fuck off, right? Group therapy, I love. And speaking of group therapy, and actually how much I love group therapy, because I actually do believe if all of us were in therapy, the world would be way better. Like, being able to talk for an hour about yourself to someone who is not biased and can actually help you makes all the sense in the world. And for any single person out there who thinks that seeing a counselor, seeing a therapist, seeing somebody to help you because you need help makes you weak, I'm here to tell you, you are the most bravest, courageous, wonderful person out there. And I'm telling you, always ask for help. You have to believe people. Like love, caring, nurturing, bringing people up is needed. I go to the extreme when I talk to someone in the customer service role that I think has gone above and beyond my help. Without fail, I ask for a manager, or I ask for a manager's email, or I ensure that I have a way to communicate with someone above the person I've spoken to say a personal thank you for just how fantastic this person was at their job. Because I made this vow, I guess you could say, in a way, and I truly, truly, truly believe that we're all here to build each other up. I'm never going to agree with the whole it's got nothing to do with me. I'm not saying shit if the thing you are highly aware of is someone doing really, really bad shit that's going to affect someone else. If someone else gets hurt by something you knew and that you didn't know, it's still very much connected to you. And you can do all the compartmentalizing in the world that you want. Us human beings are the best thing at justifying whatever it is we do. Humans justify and compartmentalize, and in doing so are able to live as the most selfish beings on the planet, because that's what we are. Most of the time I'm very, very highly ashamed to be one of us. Like my father and stepmother are in the country today, and Jews arrived at like 7 o'clock in the morning because it was like, oh my god, I really can't fuck this shit up. I managed to spend all day in bed yesterday watching Mum. It got to 8:45 and I was like, right, I'm not getting up to dishes or my kitchen table currently looking the way it is because I've got paperwork everywhere for like uni, citizenship applications, blah, 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 right? And it's like, I'm a perfectly good grown-up when I'm around other people. But I'm sure you've probably noticed it's Monday. I have made 2 videos on Saturday and Sunday, which were like, well, less than 3 minutes, and Saturday wasn't a great one. Saturday was a weird fucking one. Saturday, I woke up at 3 o'clock and became very highly confused and distressed, and I don't know, I think I found about 100 emotions at once. And then I registered and seen all the missed calls, all the missed messages, all the fucking alarms. Like, I don't remember hitting snooze. I don't remember hearing them. I don't actually remember anything, which is not great. I can tell you that much. Obviously, like, I had to call my client immediately and just apologize about a billion times to the point where it just, yeah. But, what can I say? We're good. It was an accident. I've been told I need to buy a new alarm. I think I've got like 4, but me and Ju spent quite a bit of time this morning looking at alarms. I knew there were alarms that would like jump off the bedside table and run away from you, but it turns out there are alarms that they're like helicopters and they fly in your room. And I said to Ju, I was like, I know it would fly in my room and hit me in the fucking face, so that would probably work. The most ironic thing, of course, is he said he'd be here at 7:30. I set my alarm for 6:45, kidding myself that I would get up and have a shower, knowing all along that I needed to vacuum my entire house and get it in much better order before my father and stepmother arrived. And they wouldn't judge me. Nobody judges me. My house is relatively clean all the time. It's the vacuuming. We all know I got issues with the floor. Yeah. But that just neither here nor there. Anyway, Juice arrived really early. I did manage to get up, turn the heat on, unlock the front door, turn the outside light on, and then I jumped back in bed and sent him a message going, doors unlocked, I need cuddles with boss, right? So we had coffee and breakfast and caught up. And then it's really like borrowing his missus's partner in a weird way. He like helps me make my bed and gets almost like I sorted out my solarium room with all my buffet, my filing cabinets. I got all my paperwork filed, all my filing cabinet done. The buffet table is completely moved over. I now have an actual proper ironing board station set up. It's just ready set up. All I need to do is like get the extension cord for the actual power. I tell you what, people, I feel very grown up about that. Very, very grown up. And what happened? So he left, I think around 20 to 10, and then I managed to get the rest of my housework. Like all I had to do when he left was the last couple of rooms of vacuuming before I jumped in the shower. It's fucking like, it's funny because I'd said 11, and in my head I kept thinking, they're going to arrive early, and I'm not going to be ready. And then the other part of my head was like, well, no, that's not how divine timing works. And I was like, well, that is a good point. Anyway, I was ready by 10:30, and I had this feeling, hey, like, they're going to message me that they're early, right? Never entered my head to message them that I got the feeling they were early. But now that I think about it, I actually could have done that because I could feel it. And then they arrived literally on the point, to the point so much that when I gave my father a hug, I was like, you guys are like to the like dot on point. And that's when they said, well, we're early, whatnot. Here's the thing though, right? If you haven't been following along for long enough, or if you have been and you're like super fucking confused right now, this is where I think the car stuff is coming in. So my mechanic had made a good point, which was don't spend any more money on this car. Yeah. I knew that when I got a new car, there were very certain things I wanted. SVU, under 100,000 Ks, automatic, obviously, just big enough for me to sleep in the back with my dog, yeah? And I got a little lost for a while, went a little bit way off track and ended up in some bloody fucking bipolar rapid cycling nightmare, to be honest with you. Thankfully, my doctor put me on the straight and narrow. My doctor is just the most amazing doctor ever. And it was my mother who suggested I message my father to ask if he'll chip in, which I never would have saw coming. Side note, Coke and raspberry. Amazing. So much to the point that I've gone through like a fucking litre of, oh, it might be 700 mils, I don't know, I took photos of raspberry cordial in like less than a week. But yeah, I bring it back. See, I get lost within my own self, yes, people. But yeah, so I did message my father, and we cleared a few miscommunications out. And it turned out they were coming over, and he did. He helped me. He helped me with $3,000. So it was because of him that I was able to top it to get to what I wanted and pay my insurance completely off, which was awesome. I have just now seen the nightlight lumber. The Jules was like, now all you need is a personalized number plate, and I was like, don't say that to me. I've already gone through that phase, yeah. And then Cassidy's mother's partner was like, you don't want one of those. Like, how much easier is it for the next person to remember a personalized number plate than a random personalized number plate and give it to the cops? And it's only tonight, in repeating that back to Juice, that I've realised how ridiculous that is, because why would I be running from the cops? That would seem really, really, really dumb, you know? And I love my car so much, I'd rather drive like a granny than worry about, I don't know, there are some fucking morons on the road, that's all I can say. But yeah, no, why, yeah, mostly it's not even the fact that he said it, it's the fact that he's now said it to me like 2 or 3 times, and it only took until I like texted to Juice that I realised how long it's taken me to actually register. But yeah, so I finally was using Word for something, and I realised that I was signed into my Word documents with every single freaking account I've got. I've got like 6 or something. Too many. And it becomes real confusing on all of the documents with all the different versions of my name. So I signed out of absolutely every single one of them. Went to sign into the one with this account because it's got storage that I can like have it uploading as it's going, right? Then I realised, right, my current email, the one I use for all my personal stuff, with all the like actual important stuff, I reckon I get one email to every fucking 30 spam, and I can't deal. And I've been thinking about it, and I've realised I'm highly aware of all of the places that would need to be updated. And it actually wouldn't be that big of a deal, yeah. And so I thought, this is how I literally wrote it to Juice. I had this train of thought. I was like, wanted to create a new email, like a personal one, yeah. And I wanted it to be like a certain word, and I'd already checked the personalized number plates for it, and it wasn't available. And then it wasn't until I was actually out driving around that I remembered or realized by seeing it that you can change particular, say, letters into numbers, and it still does the same thing. So instead of creating the email first, I went into the personalized number plates and checked the one I want, but I just changed one letter to a number, and it's available. And so I messaged Juice, and I was like, look what you've done. So, yeah. But, I mean, I know that this car's my car. It's going to be the one I've got, but yeah, for a long time. But, so, anyway, I got everything done, including showered by 10:30. They rocked up by 11. And we went out to the plaza, the place that we were going to go for lunch, that we were like all really looking forward to, and me especially. It's like one of my favorite places. It just didn't look right, and I walked up to it, and I'm like, it's fucking empty. Like, they're gone. It was devastating. I was quite devastated. But we did go to schnitzel, and that was yummy. And since I take medication that fucks with my appetite, I didn't eat a lot of it, so I have most of it left over and a gazillion bags of salad stuff because of Cassidy's mum Sundance, who, like I think I've said, packed these most gigantic, giant bags of salad think I'm gonna text the neighbor and be like, do you want some food? Do you want some salad? I've got these 3 different versions of salad, and there's not like, bleh. Anyway, I have hit 25 minutes. I am going to say that I know I haven't gone into a great deal about my father and my stepmother's visit, but I will say, and that's not because I don't want to, it's just because I've realised I'm at 25 minutes and I'm really tired, but I had a really good time, a really good time, and I don't know, something feels like it shifted in a really good way. Like, I find my father interesting, and like I said to him, like, my beliefs differ from his for sure, but as we both agree, nobody honestly knows. But in my world, I knew, or my higher self knew, it was all kind of like predetermined, so to speak, and I'm a little too tired to try and make that make any more sense. But anyway, it makes sense if you know what I'm talking about. I have salad, and I've just remembered I've got tomatoes, so I'm going to make a salad. Good for me. And eat it with my chips and vegan spicy schnitzel. Oh, and I still got the dips too. But yes, I had a fucking amazing time with Vance and Pam. And I actually said to him, I would like to come and spend time with you at your house once I've finished uni. I have 2 units to go, people. 2. I have worked so hard, people. And I deserve this. But like I said to them, I can't explain anything to any of you or them or the next person if I cannot explain it to myself. And believe you me, there are a lot of things happening within me that I don't fucking understand. But I want to get to know my dad. I want a parent. I want someone that I can turn to, that I can trust, that isn't gonna flip out and cut me out. I was filling out my citizenship application or working my way through it, and I got to a bunch of questions that involve like my parents' stuff, yeah, and I had to message my mum about it, and I was just like, "Hey mum, this is what I'm doing. I've got to this point where I can't continue without your help. I'm gonna take a photo of it and send it to you. I'm gonna really appreciate if you can give me back the details, at your earliest convenience. I love you." And my mum replied with, "Absolutely, I'll do it in the morning. I love you too." So I guess we're good again. In all fairness, I have the same illnesses as my mother. The only difference is I'm actively trying to do something about helping myself. And again, I'm in 1,000 better place than I was not that long ago, Not that long ago. What are we at? People, help me. 25 minus 70. 8 days. 8 days until I've hit 7 years since I decided that jumping on my ice pipes was probably a wise idea. I will say, in all fairness, I smoked every last bit of it before I did. But I did jump on them. And good for me. But yes, very tired and need to unwind. So at what are we at? About 30 minutes. Going to love you all and leave you all and say thanks for listening, and I'll be back tomorrow.